Hi there everyone and welcome to Tech Cravers. Now, I just wanted to take this moment to thank all of you for your support over the past year that I have been doing this. When I started back in February this year, I could never ever believe that over 7,000 would think that my content was interesting enough to subscribe for. It means the world to me that you have joined me on this journey, and I couldn't have done it without you. With my YouTube beginner eyes, I like to think that I have had an amazing year full of new and exciting content that I hope that you have enjoyed as much as I have. From product reviews to tutorials and everything in between. I have tried to bring you the best and most relevant content that I can. I'm excited to see what the next year has in store, and I can't wait to continue sharing my passion for all things tech with you. So thank you again for your support, and I hope that you will continue to join me on this journey. Now, with that said, in this video I thought I would go through my favorite handhelds of the year. With a new year and many new interesting handhelds coming up, it's definitely time to rank my favorites from the year and tell you why I think the way I think. Who knows, maybe you agree with me on every entry, or maybe you think I'm awfully wrong. So without any further delay, let's jump into it. The Anbernic RG552 was the first handheld that I bought this year, and it was also the very reason I even started with YouTube.
Hi there YouTube, Tech Cravers here. It's time for you to hear my voice.
Yikes. So to exclude it from this list would just be wrong, and I actually had a real good time with it. It has a very cool retro design that is reminiscent of classic gaming consoles, which may appeal to those of you who enjoy the nostalgia of old school gaming. It is powered by a powerful quad-core processor, which allows it to run a wide variety of games smoothly up to and including Dreamcast. This is the first handheld that made me feel like I could bring my whole N64 library with me on the go, which is of course awesome. The controller layout, however, with its shoulder buttons not being stacked and the positions of the thumbsticks, makes it more suitable for older systems like SNES and Sega Mega Drive. The screen is absolutely gorgeous and actually one of my favorites from the devices on this list. Some of you might have seen my unboxing and first impressions video of the Retroid Pocket 3, and you know that I wasn't too pleased with the experience. I actually had to dive into my toolbox and physically had to tinker with the insides of the console before I got it working, and that is not how you want to spend your first hours with a device you spent close to $200 on. That's also something I would like to address with the Retroid. Everyone keeps nagging about how cheap Retroid devices are compared to other brands, and yes, while they definitely tend to have a lower retail price than other brands, they also have a much higher shipping rate than others, making it almost as expensive, if not more expensive, than some of the other brands. And it bugs me that not enough reviewers and YouTubers mention this in their videos. With that being said, however, I do have to admit that I have been using my device quite a lot since I got it running. The Retroid Pocket 3 feels super comfortable even for longer sessions, and the notorious off-white, or whatever you call the color, actually looks kind of dope if you ask me. Now, Retroid have actually released the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus already, which is only $30 more, so I probably would recommend you to get that instead. But if you, like me, fell for the somewhat false advertising and got the Retroid Pocket 3 already, there's really not that many reasons to upgrade in terms of performance, at least not that I have seen in tests from other YouTubers, but feel free to let me know if I'm wrong in a comment down below. Next up is another Anbernic product, the RG353P, and as you can see, this device shared the same layout as a certain old school controller. If you for some reason don't understand what I mean by that, you might figure it out thanks to the sticker I got around the screen. This made it to the list thanks to its wonderful retro design and for the simple fact that it runs most games up to and including Dreamcast and N64 without any real issues. The design with stacked shoulder buttons and the rounded shape of the device itself makes it one of the nicest on the list for longer gaming sessions. The controller layout is not optimal for N64 and Dreamcast if you ask me, even though it can run some of the games, but this handheld is definitely my go-to device for NES, SNES and such older systems. The small form factor is super pocketable and it's easy to bring it with you on any trip or while commuting. Okay, closing in on the first place. This is AYN Odin Pro, and oh my how this device changed the rules for what to expect from a handheld device when it came out earlier this year. It started shipping early this year, even though many thought it was just another Indiegogo project that would never see the light of day. And even though this device dropped early in 2022 and at a price between $220 and $300 depending on when in the campaign you decided to back the project, it really never saw any competitor in the price range that took its place as the greatest highly portable PS2 and GameCube emulation device out there. Some of the performance and emulation showcases I've seen on this device, both from my own experience and others out there, are just mind-blowing. This is definitely the device to get if you want to spend less than $300 but want to play GameCube, PS2, 3DS and even Wii games on the go. Not every single game will run great or even start, but another wonderful thing with the AYN Odin is the big community that will help you with your questions and even provide a big compatibility list of which games will run and what to tweak in the settings to make them run at its best. Not only does it perform best in its price range, but it's also the most comfortable handheld in the list. AYN have been working hard to eat up their super long order queues, but it has come to my understanding that if you order now you will get it after just a couple of weeks, which is super short time when speaking of AYN Odin Pro, as some has waited for nearly half a year after placing an order. A device that didn't make it to top 5 but still deserves an honorable mention is Anbernic's vertical layout handheld, the RG353V. This device came out later in 2022 and a few of the bugs and problems with their earlier devices were gone. It can emulate anything up to Dreamcast and N64 and has a pixel-perfect 3.5-inch screen. The reason this didn't make it to the list is because I can't really use it for longer periods of time without my hands cramping because of how it's designed. I can imagine all of you Game Boy and Game Boy Color lovers out there would want to put your hands on this device, however. This shall come as no surprise for anyone of you that has been following me and this channel for the past year or at least the past 6 months. In first place in my list we find Valve's portable gaming PC Steam Deck. But hear me out, some of you will think it's wrong to put this gaming PC next to a bunch of Android powered devices, and for long I was actually going to make this list without even having the Steam Deck included. The Steam Deck is obviously a much more powerful device than any of the other devices on this list, and to compare it to the others in terms of performance would just not be fair at all. With that being said, it's also a much bigger device, and some argue it's not even portable in the means that you can't bring it with you in your pocket, for example. But while both those arguments are true, I realized that I simply can't make a favorite handheld list for 2022 without mentioning the single one that easily crushed the competition in terms of hours used. To be honest, I have tinkered with this device for more hours than I have played on all other devices on this list together, not even counting the hours I have played on the Steam Deck. This beast will not only play your favorite AAA PC games, but it will also emulate anything from your retro game library up to Wii U, PlayStation 3 and even Nintendo Switch. It has proven to be even more powerful than I could ever dream of back in 2021 when I laid my pre-order. And what's even more great about this device is that Valve has actually worked through their backlog of orders now, so if you decide to buy one today, you can expect to get it within a couple of weeks. So even if it's not as portable, and even though it's definitely more expensive than the other handhelds on this list, my top pick for my favorite handhelds of 2022 is without a doubt the Steam Deck. And that's been it for this video of my favorite handhelds of 2022. Do you agree with me on my picks or would you like to swap them out? Let me know in a comment down below, and from the bottom of my heart, have a very Merry Christmas.